I'm going to call this meeting to order. If you would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, first on our agenda is the roll call. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Queenie Forrest.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Here.
Trustee McManning.
Here.
Trustee Janice Bryan.
Here.
Trustee Richard Tokar.
Here.
Trustee Ed Hallam. Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Okay, we do still have a quorum, so we will continue on. Next is the approval of the agenda, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented by staff.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Richard Toker and a second by Trustee Janice Bryan to approve the agenda as presented by staff. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the minutes of April 26, 2023, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 26, 2023.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Janice Bryan and a second by Trustee Nick Manning to approve the minutes of April 26, 2023. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Okay, next on the agenda is I get to swear in our new deputy. I'm going to sign this and then
I'm sorry, Justin and Brett wanted to be here, but they have a call, so they're not.
going to make it back.
This is Jesse Miner. He will be starting on May 16th, I believe is his start date.
Yes.
And we do have a current employee who is leaving our employee, so there's a couple week overlap. When we finalize that, we'll let you all know. But Mr. Miner has been vetted by Justin. I believe he's been serving as a reserve officer for a while.
Yes.
So,
For approximately 8 years.
yes, so we wanted to welcome him, but he will officially be on staff starting with May 16th. So,
And then after I swear again, we can go to the beginning. All right. The oath of office. Raise your right hand. State of Colorado, County of Montezuma, Town of Mancos. I,
Jesse Miner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the state of Colorado
and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
of the Town of Mancos,
of the town of Mancos,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
perform the duties
perform the duties
of the office of Deputy Marshal
of the office of Deputy Marshal
upon which I have been appointed.
upon which I have been appointed.
We got to do it in blood.
What?
She said she would tell us. Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Camera.
She's got a camera.
Great.
Speech.
Speech?
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
I think that's one of the funnest things I get to do is here.
Yeah.
Get to do that. Okay, then I have a, oh, never mind. Okay, audience business. And Okay, so we've got 4 people signed up for audience business. I want you, audience, to know that you have 5 minutes to speak. You're speaking to the board, not to the audience. And know that we also cannot make any decisions tonight. This is just a time for you to state your concerns, okay? So the first one on the that has signed up is Amy Brand, and if you would approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Amy Brand. My address is 200 West Grand Avenue. I am one of the owners of the Mancos Inn, and I am here today about the conduct of the El Rio bar in the neighborhood across the street. All this time. So I just wanted to say that Sarah Allen opened the Painted Turtle Studio 8 years ago in what is now the Mancos Inn. It was at that time a flop house, a place where the police officers would drop the drunks that were in their back of the car and they had nowhere else to put them. In the 7 years that we've owned the Mancos Inn, we have obviously turned that place around to where we have business from Europe and Canada and coming to stay in our town and seeing what it has to offer. First questions out of our clients' mouths is, where do we go to eat? Where's the famous Absolute Bakery? So we really feel that we have made a contribution to this town in a very positive way. Community Arts Center, the inn, which brings in quite a bit of revenue for the town in a positive way. When the Columbine reopened and their hours were at 10 p.m., that was Mancos in a positive way. When Cidery opened, all these places for eating, establishments, places that we say to our clientele, go there, it's amazing, this, and this. El Rio, in talking to the people of the town, they have made it clear that El Rio wants to be known as the after-hour bar. So, to me, after 10 o'clock, drinking and drugs, nothing good comes from that, and I'm not here to judge. That's not what I'm saying, but as an owner of a business right across the street in where people are sleeping and we have our quiet hours from 10 to 7 a.m., it does not benefit us. The night of April 29th, El Rio had an after-hours party, and the marshal were told not to respond to anything or don't respond to non-emergent calls. There were at least 7 calls from people in the residential area complaining about the noise, the drunken behavior, the peeing on the street, so what I was hearing from that was that the El Rio wants to be an after-hours bar, but the town doesn't have anyone to patrol that sort of establishment. You know, our client, or the guy staying at the inn tonight said, where should I eat? We said, you know what, sometimes El Rio has a food truck, so check that out. We are not saying, you know, we think it's great to have the opportunity to have different restaurants and bars in this town, but we also like either quiet hours or, you know, maybe a different location for El Rio. Or as we were walking over here, we were thinking, well, maybe the parking lot for the bank would be an option for their clientele. You know, something like, how can we work together? We tried reaching out to El Rio owners, and they said, you know what? Take it up with the town. We're doing everything we've been told we can do. So we now are working on signatures and petitions and letters. We got a horrible letter from a repeat customer who stays here, who's coming to build his home here, just disgusted with somebody peed on his car at the one of these weekend nights. If you go to Facebook threads, when the dead of winter, they had fireworks in the middle of the town. There's a thread of people like, did you hear that? What was that? Was that a bomb? You know, it was El Rio's clientele lighting off fireworks at like 2 in the morning. So this is not the last you'll hear of it. Maybe a forum we could talk about ideas, but there is big concern, and we'll be talking more. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, the next one is Jim Meyer. Please state your name and address for the record.
I'm James Myers. My address is 41777 Highway 184, Mancos, Colorado. I'm retired, recently moved here because of the ambience of the town. No commercial businesses, no stoplights, no fast food, no obnoxious anything. I do volunteer at the Turtle, and I do volunteer at the Inn, as well as some other places, and I'm currently sponsoring some children to go to the Inn so they can be creative and do, you know, what children should do. So I've witnessed a few incidents that are really concerning, that is not appropriate to be around children. Now, I'm not saying that the children are out around that establishment all night long, but I've seen children interact with patrons on the patio. I personally have seen the urination in the public, and I've seen visually impaired people be served alcohol and take it out the front door and ride away on their bicycle. I've seen patrons, maybe they were broke, so they just get the alcohol out of their car and drink it in front of the establishment. So these are all things that start to deteriorate a beautiful little community like this, and I'm concerned not only for their business, but I'm concerned for all the elderly people in that federal housing that they cannot sleep at night. You cannot sleep with the decibels of that music going boom, boom, boom. It just doesn't work. So it's kind of a disservice. I'm not saying that, you know, who's right or wrong. I did see where some of the community did try to meet with these people, and the response from the owners of the cantina could have been a little more positive. If you don't know what you can do, maybe you can ask people that are, you know, bringing concerns to you, hey, what do you see we can do? So I would just like to see that resolution, communication get opened up, and there's no reason for their business to suffer, and there's no reason for their business to suffer. But right now you have an established business that counts on quiet time at certain times of night because you have tourists driving in and whatnot. And then you have another facility that's just opened up that is counterproductive to that. So I just hope that the town and the business owners and some of the community can get together and see what we can do to resolve this. Maybe it's drink limits, maybe it's 86 and people out that are repeatedly rude and obnoxious to the neighbors. I don't know, but there's always resolution as long as there's willingness to come and sit and see what we can do. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Okay, and then the next person is Ray Flanagan.
Hello again. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. I'm here to talk about, my name's Jay Flanagan. I live at 145 Bower. I'm here to talk about El Rio, but at a slightly different angle. I too have witnessed just things that nobody should have to see. They came in under the guise that they were going to have a layback, Mexican-style, hippie cantina where people could visit and just kind of hang out. It's far from hippie and layback. It's radically loud music, loud dancing, boisterous noise, screaming and hollering, etc. So you all have heard about that. I know you heard from me a couple weeks ago and you heard from these guys today. But I think my question, more concern this evening is nobody knew that bar was going in there. I've talked to a lot of people and they said, oh, we have a new bar? When a business is going to open, who doesn't put up a big sign and say, coming soon? You know, we're excited about this. Let's let people know. I feel that this El Rio Cantina was brought in completely under the radar. Not one neighbor got a petition, and I live right next door. Everybody in my building is over 60. We go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock at night. Not anymore. The music is obnoxiously loud. So my concern, and also, we all know Jonah. I can say that I like him a lot. I even helped him clean up some of his construction messed around with him when he was doing some building. And he's a good guy. And I love businesses. I had several of my own. I don't condone that one bit. But I do believe that bar either needs to close early or close down. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Amy, do you want to talk? Is Amy here? Okay. Okay, so I have two Amy's on here. Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. Okay, we will move right along then to announcements. Heather, do you have any announcements?
I do have a couple of announcements. Aspen Wallwood Tour, you guys had asked for some dates to potentially tour that facility. Is there a day next week that works for you all? Do you want to discuss this at a different time? Maybe we can talk about it at our next meeting and pull out calendars and that kind of thing. I just wanted to put that on your radar to start looking at your calendars, and then next time we see each other, we'll talk about setting a date and time.
Could we look at it at the retreat?
Say Saturday.
Yeah, we can do that. Wanted to just remind you all, I will be out of the office. I'll be leaving in the afternoon of May 30th and coming back the evening of June 1st. Gretchen Rank and I are attending a drought summit in Denver. We've been asked to speak on the panel, so we will be out of the office. We executed the contract with SGM on the wastewater treatment plant for the phase 1 design, engineering, and permitting. So that kickoff meeting happens next week, so you're going to start seeing activity and movement and agenda items on that project. We submitted an energy impact, when I say we, I mean Jason and Justin submitted an energy impact grant for the new marshal's office. So those presentations will be at the end of June up in Denver. The three of us will be up there because they'll be required to present their application to the amount that we're asking for. Our auditor was here on Monday and Tuesday of this week, and so you'll be seeing that at the last meeting in May for review and approval. He will come and give you kind of give you as much information as you want, brief overview, down and dirty, whatever you want to see, but you will be seeing that. I have been asked by the Creative District, Chelsea Wonders, they received an Arts and Society grant for $20,000 and to put a mural on the Livewell wall, the East Livewell wall. It will be commissioned. They are putting out a call to artists, and they are only accepting applications from Indigenous artists and local Indigenous people here. They have asked if Cindy Simpson would sit on the committee to review the proposal, the call for artist proposal, and then potentially offer some feedback, and then when proposals are received from artists to review that information. So I would like to know if you're willing to do that.
I'm willing to. Is everybody okay with me?
Yeah.
Good luck.
So I will reach out to she's in Nicaragua, but I will send her an email and let her know you're willing to do that, and just to reach out when she's back and they have the process.
Sure.
And then Philip and Linda Walters received an award from the Colorado Preservation Society. The Mancos Opera House received the Alpine Bank State Honor Award, and I have some information here. But what I wanted to ask you all, because we did partner with them on that MSOB, the Main Street Open for Business grant during COVID for some facade improvements. Do we want to do like a proclamation of congratulations at our next board meeting?
Yes.
If they will be in town. The presentation of the award is that week up in Denver. If they're back for the next meeting, do we want to do that? If not, I'll push it to the next meeting. But is that something that you all would be interested in?
Yeah, they've done an amazing job rebuilding that.
So I will, congratulations, we will put that on the next board agenda, that they are in town and able to attend.
Mhm.
The other thing, and I apologize for leaving the meeting earlier, that was our substitute judge calling me. He is driving back from Denver and has been delayed. So he's later on the agenda. He will not be here to be sworn in, and he wanted me to extend his apologies and let you know that it was out of his control and he wanted me to apologize. So I wanted to let you know. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to?
So as part of the public outreach, that you guys discussed at the workshop, I am building out the first newsletter for spring, summer from the town of Mancos. And I'd like to see if I can get two of you to work with me on a trustee spotlight section. And if it would be helpful, I can provide some prompting questions and we can just, you know, we can do it that way, or you can free form a paragraph about yourself. Sounds good.
I suggest that we have Nick and Richard, since they're new trustees.
I second that.
I want to defer to my elders.
In more ways than one.
Learn what to do. My opinion, I think we ought to get some experience on it.
I'm gonna need a photo of you guys as well. So, a shot or something.
I'm gonna be out of town, pretty much.
He's gonna
Well,
phone it
since
in.
Ed and Brett aren't here, I think we nominate.
Yeah, let's nominate them.
You know,
That's hilarious.
I don't mind.
I'm fine doing it,
Yeah. I was
And I
gonna say-
think it would probably be good, because some people are more creative than others or whatever, but I think it would be good to have like some questions.
Yeah.
To kind of steer it.
So I have Nick. Do you want to do
I said I would do
Richard,
it.
yeah.
great.
Oh, I thought we were doing Brett and Ed.
I thought we were.
I thought that was a great
I heard
idea.
Queenie volunteered.
We volunteered.
I think the mayor ought to be on the first,
And give everybody a
I'll send
chance.
you guys an
Right.
email.
she can set the bar.
I'm trying to get it done by the end of this month. So, we've got a
Yeah.
little time.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, great. So, anyway, that's what I got.
Just the other clean up. The 20th is yard waste drop off at the old mill. And the cleanup is from 8 to 5. Friday and Saturday, yard waste is 8 to noon on Saturday. For Mancos in town residents.
That's driver's license, they're gonna show address, or what are you looking for that?
A utility bill, a driver's license.
So that was the yard waste.
Nope.
And the town.
And the town.
Where's the town cleanup still at the,
That's
okay, what date is that?
19th and 20th.
Okay.
Just follow your nose, you'll find the plan.
And we have been, since the workshop, we have been advertising that. We put it on the website, we put it on the
Yes.
website. We posted flyers around town, and we put it on utility bills in April.
I see that.
So we have done as much as we can to get the word out that it's now for in-town residents.
Mhm.
That's the 18th and 19th.
19th and
19th
20th.
and 20th.
And I want to know how the new truck is.
I'm sorry?
Who's driving the new truck? Did we get it?
It's not here. No,
It's not
we'll
here
let
yet.
you know when it comes.
Okay.
I see the check right.
Yeah, I said I just signed the check, but I was hoping it was here.
We saw the update and stuff, so we'll let you know when it gets here.
Okay, and then I would just like to invite everybody, the VFW Post and auxiliary will be holding the Memorial Day services out at the cemetery at 10 o'clock on Memorial Day. So the town is invited to come out for the services. They want to come out. Okay, moving right along, the treasurer's report, May bills and claims. Anybody have any questions?
You answered my question. I was wondering what that $43,000 check was. You answered it. So,
Okay, so I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the bills and claims as presented by staff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson and a second by Trustee Richard Toker to accept the bills and claims for the month of April as presented by staff. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Okay, motion carries. Moving right along, we have the committee reports. And first is the Montezuma County Commissioner update. Gerald.
Most of you, and I'm sure everybody's going to hear about it, if you haven't got your evaluations from the county, they have gone up tremendously. The state legislature and the governor has changed a lot of the rules. It's going to be challenging for a while because every one of these protests that protest their evaluation has to be heard by the commissioners as a board of adjustments individually. So when we get hundreds of protests, it's probably going to be a mess because a lot of valuations went up depending on how it seems like the property that if you have a pretty nice house, it went up a bunch. If you have something that's worth $30,000 or less, it is zero. That's one of the things that's in there, okay? It's kind of all over the place, so a lot of people's has went up tremendously, so I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about it through the summer because there'll be a lot of protests about it. We've been basically working, trying to keep up with all the different legislation that's been going through. Thank goodness it's over for another year before they can pass any more things up against us. We had interviews this morning. We're going to hire a new social services director. Our old one's retiring, and so we had interviews for that this morning. Actually, our land use stuff has been fairly slow here lately, but we haven't had a lot of stuff going on that way. But there is a little bit of stuff going on with the Love's truck stop process down there. Not really sure how that's going to all work out, but they're talking about having to remove all that they hauled in there and to build that up and dig down and bring in all different soil. And one of the engineering studies wanted them to dig down 12 feet. Well, I can tell you there's nothing down there at 12 feet down in that area but water. You know, so I don't know what's going to happen down there, to tell you the truth. They went back in and drilled a bunch more holes again, and so I don't know. It's kind of up in the air what's going to happen there. As far as I know, we don't have any positive thing either way. Whether they're actually that's a fact that they have to move all that and do it. I mean, it's just we've heard things, but we don't know for sure what's going to go on there. So, trying to think what else is going on. Colorado at the last, right here at the last legislature, they actually are going to create a task force to deal with the Colorado River issues. And they've got that set up to where some of the members are going to come out of the Southwest down here. Some of it has to be, there's different qualifications. They have to be appointed by the president of the Senate, and I forget who else appoints the rest of them, but anyway, some of those members of that task force, I think there's 15 on the task force. It can't be a senator or a representative of the state. It has to be local people. Some of it has to be water rights owners. Some of it has to be public officials, but not of the state. I think there's 15 members of the panel, and it has to come out of the Colorado District and Southwest District, as I understand. And There is some representation from the Front Range, but most of it's from the Colorado and Southwest region being involved with this thing. One of the things that is showing up now, Southwest here in this region, in our water district 7, we didn't exempt out and become where we could not use our water and it not count against you. Colorado's a use it or lose it state. So if you don't use your water for so many years, you can actually lose it. It counts against you. Well, all of the other water divisions except for Division 7, which is here, exempted out of that rule. And so they can actually lease their water out like 5 out of 10 years and it doesn't hurt them. We didn't do that because we were afraid that speculators would come in and start buying up these places and the water rights to sell it. And it is happening in the Grand Junction area, different areas. And there's one company out in New York, it's an investment company, and they have bought a bunch already in the Grand Junction area. And the water, you're not supposed to be able to, state law is that you're not supposed to be able to speculate on water in Colorado, but that water's not real, that law is not real strong about it. And so these people coming in and buying this water, they're speculating that they're gonna be able to sell it downstream. Just some lovely news that everybody in Colorado should know about. But that's what's happening. It's not good. So, because it can sure dry up communities. So when these guys start going away, they don't buy any more tractors, they don't go to the farm store and buy seed, pretty soon the farm store's gone, tractor dealership's gone, your community disappears. So all those things are concerning. Hopefully it won't happen in this area. We're trying to prevent it. We've went through all of our stuff at MBI, trying to stop anybody from taking water out of the area. You can't 100% make it impossible because they own those water rights, but you can make it hard for them to move it. And we've put a lot of roadblocks in place as many as we possibly could, just because we don't want to do that to our community. And the water's got so much more valuable than it was. It's unreal. Shares in MBI recently sold as high as $10,000 a share. And there's 31,000 shares, 33,000 shares in on the valuation. It's a lot of money. You start presenting that much money to people and they'll want to sell it because they can't make that much money farming with it or ranching, either one. So it puts some people in a difficult situation because we don't have the money that there is down that river that they can come at us with. So I think as a community, we have to stick together and try to look out for everybody. And that's what we're trying to do as much as we can. Stay involved, try to keep on top of this stuff because it just keeps coming. So anyway, I'll quit taking up the rest of your time. If you have any questions, holler at me. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, Gerald. The Montezuma County Planning Commission is tomorrow night, and I will be attending that meeting. Region 9.
Well, a few things. So they had their meeting. I didn't attend, but I've read through their notes, along with all the things they do, along with their grant programs, their marketing, their enterprise business development, finance. Region 9 is waiting for some funds through this NTIA for the broadband. So they're really focusing right now a lot on getting some grants for this broadband project. They're also working with the Four Corners Economic Development in the San Juan County of New Mexico. They want to bring a rail line closer to Farmington, and that would be to transport goods and services. That would benefit all of us, make it more easy. They're also waiting for grants on this workforce housing too. So those are just kind of the big things that, along with all the other things they do. I'll just ask Jason if there's anything I missed or didn't get right.
Nope, you did great.
Okay.
Okay, CDOT.
I haven't been, nothing till next week.
No meeting since the last one.
Right.
Okay.
Since the last board meeting we had.
Okay, the Mancos Planning Commission.
I missed the last one, I was out of town, so I got nothing.
And that
We need to do guys.
Yeah, I attended and they worked on some more of the comprehensive plan review. They took back what we had sent them back and discussed it and made some more changes and sent some more back to us. And we have chapters 3 and 7 back from them tonight to go over. So they're working on that real hard and real intense. They're spending a lot of time on it. So it was I think it was a couple-hour meeting. We got here to about 9 o'clock. So we're doing really good. I'm going to just step in here real fast. And, Jason, can you give us an update on the river real fast?
The river,
Uh-huh.
the predictions has all been off. They might be up, they might be down.
But we know it's wet.
It's comprehensive, I like that.
Yeah.
Depends on what this storm does on the mountain. Like, we're steadily, the prediction is we're gonna be below action, and it should just keep coming down. But if we get a lot of rain, then it's gonna melt up snow, still up there, and then it'll come back up. Nobody predicted it to be as high as it was in the last week. So that kind of caught everybody out there a little bit. It's staying in the bank.
Yes, man, in the bank. I know Thornton and Denver and Colorado Springs all got hail last night. Nice, good, not baseball size, but golf ball size hail. So, and some snow. So we may get some more snow or some rain. So.
One more reason not to live on the front range.
Yeah, our turns are all gonna go up.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move right along to discussion and action items. So can we move the resolution 9 appointment, or do we need to go ahead and appoint him and then swear him in later?
I was just going to say, we are required by our municipal code to have a substitute judge. So Mr. Morrison has kindly applied for that position and included his resume in your board packet. So I would ask tonight, if you all are comfortable, that you approve resolution 9, appoint him as a substitute judge, and then our town clerk can swear him in, or our marshal can swear him in at either the next court date or when we can recommend him again.
Or I'm in town, I'm more than happy to come by. I'm in town, I'm more than happy to come by too. Okay, so anybody have any questions about the resolution 9? All right. Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution 9, series 2023A, resolution appointing a substitute Mancos municipal court judge.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Nick Manning and a second by trustee Janice Bryant to approve resolution 9, series 2023, a resolution appointing the substitute Mancos municipal court judge. Jamie, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Nick Manning.
Aye.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Lucy Tokar.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. So moving right along. We have the Columbine Inc. liquor license renewal. Jamie?
They are up for their liquor license renewal. They've had no violations in the last 12 months. Everything is office.
has no objects or objections to this renewal.
Anybody have any questions? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Columbine Inc. liquor license renewal and authorize the town clerk and treasurer to submit the renewal application to the Department of Revenue.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Richard Tucker and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson to approve the Columbine Inc. liquor license renewal and authorize the town clerk treasurer to submit the renewal application to the Department of Revenue. Jamie, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee McNeely. Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Richard Tucker.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Moving right along, we have a public hearing for 456 North Willow Utility Tap foreclosure. So, Heather, you want to introduce it and then I'll open the public hearing?
Sure. So our code states that if there have been 24 consecutive months of non-payment on a utility account, that this item will be placed before the board in a public hearing with proper notification to the property owner, and the board can decide to revoke the tap, or the property owner will forfeit the tap, the water and sewer taps of the property. This property, and I kind of put some information in there. I cannot answer detailed questions about how much do we owe, that kind of thing. What I can tell you is what I put in the staff report. The last payment was in February of 2021. A lien was filed at Montgomery County. For our standard procedure, that lien is still outstanding, and balance is still accrued. So what staff is asking, we have notified the property owner via certified letter. We've also been in contact with them on some other items. So proper notification has been given. They're back in your board packet as well. But what I'm asking is that that tap be forfeited, and the lien will remain on the property, but all charges will stop accruing. Because currently they're being charged the monthly minimum and the late fee and that type of thing. So if the board approves the forfeiture, then what happens on that property is the lien remains in place, the meter is pulled, and moving forward, a new property owner, if and when the property is sold, is currently abandoned. If and when that property is sold, new water and sewer taps will have to be purchased by the new property owner in order to develop the property. So,
All right.
that's it in a nutshell.
Okay. So, wait a minute.
Good question.
No, not until
okay.
we're just under our discussion.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to open the public hearing at 7:45. And do I have anybody that wants to speak regarding this subject? Okay, seeing no one wanting to speak, I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:45, and now I'll bring it to the trustees. Cindy.
Yeah, I had a question, and I know you can't give us dollar amounts, but the lien, I think you said it was filed some time ago. Does that have a dollar amount affixed to it? And
The lien has a dollar amount affixed to it because we're required by law to file that. And when something is filed in Montgomery County, otherwise.
yeah. Now, would we update that lien with the total amount due today?
No, because what the lien at the time of filing says, the amount continues to accrue.
Okay. All right. And so it's on public notice for anybody doing due diligence. Okay.
It's caught during the title search.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Question I have is, can you tell me exactly where it is on North Willow, but exactly where is it?
Yeah, it's
So-
Angel Way and Willow.
Okay, so it's over on the north side of town. Okay,
It's a mobile home and it's been abandoned for a while.
okay, all right. I just couldn't place it in my mind, that's why I was asking.
It is a mobile home. I drove by there.
Richard, do you have any comments?
No, I don't.
Nick?
No.
Janice?
I don't.
Cindy?
That was my only.
All right, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion after the public hearing, approve the tap foreclosure at 456 North Willow Street in Mancos, Colorado, 81328, due to the 24 consecutive months of non-payment of utility fees.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Richard Toker and a second by trustee Nick Manning to approve the tap forfeiture at 456 North Willow Street, Mancos, Colorado, 81328, due to 24 consecutive months of non-payment of utility fees. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Nick Manning.
Aye.
Trustee James Myers.
Aye.
Trustee Richard Toker.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, moving right along, comprehensive plan review, chapters 3 and 7.
So, the planning commission has been working on this project for many months. 2 months ago, you received their recommendations on chapter 3. And the board at that time had some feedback that they wanted provided back to the planning commission. We were provided that feedback to the planning commission, and they have amended the language in chapter 3 at your request. So you are looking at the chapter 3 final proposed chapter for the updated comp plan. And then with regard to chapter 7, they have received the initial draft, a final draft, and you are seeing the final proposed draft for chapter 7 for the first time. So if anybody has any feedback on that chapter, please let me know. I don't necessarily need official action tonight, because what will happen is when all chapters have been reviewed and the entire comp plan is updated in its entirety, you will receive that for final review and feedback, and then it goes back to the planning commission for official adoption. But I don't need any action tonight. I'm just wanting your feedback on the changes that were made to chapter 3 and your first view of chapter 7.
They did listen to you guys, your comments. They read them, they talked, some they changed a couple words, some they were pretty adamant about leaving, but I thought they did a really good job of listening to what was sent back to them.
I didn't check word for word, but this is the vision statement that we wrote up based on the public input.
Yep.
The new one that was adopted after the public meeting was adopted by the commission.
Okay. And is it typical in comprehensive plans to have like the first paragraph about geographer, on, like, is that a typical thing that we see in comprehensive?
This was written in 2011 by Adola Baskin-Rice's intern. She focused exclusively on this project for the 2-year term of her internship.
Wow.
And so I would say that I do believe that comprehensive plans have changed in the last 12 years, potentially a little bit more streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
We have been, Jason has been doing some research, and a full, complete redo of the comp plan could potentially run us 6 figures. So what we have done with this is updated the existing comp plan with updated data from the census, updated community survey results, and updated goals. So I don't want to necessarily say, no, that's not right, or yes, it should be changed, or no, it's fine the way it is. Because comp plans can be specific to communities. That doesn't mean that this couldn't be pared down.
Yeah.
But in order to completely redo the comp plan, I would strongly recommend that we hire a firm. You're looking at significant dollars.
Yeah.
So we chose to go this route, and then it's on the kind of the 5-year plan. Once some of our projects are complete, we can circle back.
I was just thinking that the paragraph between the vision statement and the archaeological evidence, it really doesn't resonate with me. I don't know about everybody else, but
If you want to remove that, the board agrees. You can do whatever you
I'm
want.
with you, Cindy. It read to me more like any academic paper.
Yeah.
It just didn't quite.
Yeah, you put your finger on it. I couldn't figure out why it was bugging me. The rest of it, I think, is really cool. You know, because it deals with our actual area. And, yeah.
It just seems like a comp plan should be focused on nature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, any extra verbiage, because really it seems like the purpose of it is to flatten grants and, you know, keeping it focused and clean.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather, to your point, I think it is important that this does get redone at some point, but you know, I like that you're putting it out there somewhere in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there board consensus to just remove the paragraph that begins in defining census place?
Yeah, it does look a little out of place there. I mean, I hate to have to change the whole thing for that, but,
Not with you.
I would be in agreement. Change it, take it out.
Janice? Well, it's kind of a nice sense of place, social phenomenon. I mean, it's kind of, but I agree that it's, maybe this isn't where that belongs in this comprehensive plan. So I would be okay bringing that up.
And then I seem to recall one thing was like agriculture, and didn't we have something about, I think they changed it to vital as opposed to one of the leading business things. And was that one of the things that they really wanted to hold on to? Because I don't even see it on the pie chart. I guess agriculture. I guess I was looking for ranching.
They were pretty adamant about that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess socially it's sort of, you know, still a thing, but
You look all around, there's ranches everywhere.
yeah.
Well, we have the mountain goat range is extremely active.
Yeah.
They've done an historical.
Yeah.
vehicle for-
Yeah. All right. And it seemed like, did we have anything else that we mentioned? Because it seemed like everything else looked okay to me.
Looked okay to me. Yeah.
Anything in chapter 7?
Let me look. It seems like I wrote something out, but it was on a different computer, and now I can't log into my email on this one. So I'm trying to do this on my phone. Crap. Was something about affordable housing or something. It's not very long, this chapter 7, right? It's just 7.3 and 7.32, and then it's over.
And Jason, you will do the first pass on this, right? I mean, and so this is, in my mind, this is geared towards affordable housing grants and something. So in your mind, this is adequate? Yes.
I will say, they had, and this speaks to my lack of technology expertise, they had a request that this top picture be removed.
Mm-hmm.
But this in the existing comp plan is one picture that somebody put together.
So,
I don't have the ability.
yeah,
I don't have the knowledge.
yeah.
To
So,
go in and just remove one picture.
Yeah.
This whole thing would have to
so
change.
what you can do is you can, if you don't have this on your computer, you can download what's called like the snippet tool. And so you bring it up and then you just go, you know, new, and then you click and drag on the part that you want to keep. And then you're basically creating a new picture.
Well, we just don't have, I don't know of any other pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That we would use.
And I brought up that night that, you know, we're talking about diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And we're wanting everybody has the right, and this is a beautiful Victorian home in Mancos.
Yeah.
And the others are, you know, we've got different pictures of different landscaping and things. We ought to give those people the opportunity that are paying the water bill that want to have that home. I mean, I know water's a touchy subject right now, but again, when you're talking diversity, you got to include everybody. When you start just putting all zero-scape lawns and things, then you're.
Was that their issue with it? Or?
It was the fact that it has a green lawn.
Well, there's another one down there.
Two green lawns on there?
And the other one that they wanted,
I don't.
and the one that they wanted has a big, beautiful green yard.
So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say is, I don't have an opinion. I
Yeah.
don't have the technology.
It seems
To
like
change this picture.
I was gonna say,
I
Change the picture.
Yeah.
Who's changing, is
Who wants to
the
change the
planning and
picture?
zoning wanted to change the picture?
One lady.
Oh.
One lady.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Then I'm not gonna change the picture.
No.
Yeah.
Because there's another one down below with the green grass too, so you gotta take that one out? No, just leave it.
Well, that's the public housing.
it's still
It's
Mhm.
still gonna
They
be for
did
green
make the
housing.
recommendation, so I have to pass it on.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that, but I think it's
It seems
fine.
like you finding photos or learning a new technology to get that out of there is a waste of your time, I would say. I think we move on.
Awesome, so we're good. If you see anything, Cindy, if you find something,
Yeah.
just send me an email.
Yeah.
Bring it back to me.
I think if how this is written will help us get grants, then I think it is pretty wonderful.
Yeah, Jason's good luck.
Yeah, Jason's good.
It looks good to me.
Yeah.
Jason went over it really good with us, so.
Good night, Gerald.
Wow, cool.
We're good?
And they're coming right along with the Water Conservancy duplex. It's
Yeah.
just coming right
I saw
along.
that today.
Yeah,
It's doing really well, and Mancos Commons should be breaking ground in a couple of weeks or several weeks, so yeah, we're definitely seeing some activity in town, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
okay. Moving right along then, items for the May 24th, 2023 agenda. The workshop for the agency contribution discussion. I think we possibly wanted to talk about that a little bit at our retreat if we have time. So everybody would be there maybe.
It's up to you guys. At the last meeting, you said you were gonna talk about it at the workshop, and I believe the applicants were here.
Okay.
So I'll have to go back and listen and watch the recording again.
Okay.
Wait, say that again?
What happened?
The agency contribution, we didn't give out the money
Oh,
because
right.
there was only 3 of us here. We didn't feel like we should
Yeah.
make that decision for the 7 board members.
Yeah.
So they gave their presentations. You guys need to watch the meeting, so
Mhm.
you know what they presented to us and what. So then they don't have to come back and present to us again.
That's
Because
fair.
they were here that night, but we didn't feel like we should make the decision to spend that money, because we feel like they had some great
Yeah.
presentations, and we've only got $3,000, and there was
How many did you have?
7.
$10,000 in requests.
Oh, and we have 3,000.
Mhm.
In your,
Unless we-
budgeted in your line item, $3,000.
Okay. And we can't change that budget at this point.
Well, we can talk about that at the workshop.
Okay.
I just want to be careful because the applicants were here, and I believe the discussion was, we will talk about this at our workshop on May 24th.
Okay.
I want to make very sure that.
At our workshop, not the retreat.
So you have at the retreat, so I guess you guys can talk about it at the retreat. I can change.
Oh, we said at the retreat and not the workshop.
Yeah.
In the
Okay,
minutes.
that's up to you guys, you can talk about it whenever, I apologize.
We just wanted there to be more people making that decision.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There was 10 applications.
Yes, I just, and this is totally my opinion, feel free to tell me I don't want to listen, but they're coming to you from money. I would recommend that you talk about it at a public workshop.
Mhm.
that they can attend, that they're expecting, the public is expecting a workshop for every meeting.
Yeah,
Anybody who's interested, it's just extremely transparent, it's on the agenda. It's
Yeah.
Friday before.
It's better business.
Posted on the website.
Yeah.
It's better business. I think we ought to talk about the workshop and not at the.
yeah,
It's just a suggestion.
No, I agree, Heather. I think if we're gonna not give it to one person and they're here in the room, we can explain to them why we're not giving it to them.
And it's not just the receiving it, it's also where it's taxpayer money, so it's both sides, but.
yeah,
And you can't, because you can't really make decisions in retreat, and
right,
you can't even make a decision for a workshop. However, I just think having a discussion and then immediately following, having the resolution and
Right.
the decision.
then any interested parties could show up to vote.
So the resolution would be at,
So you can discuss it at the workshop, and then I was placing it as an action item at the meeting following the workshop.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And then, I'm gonna notify, once this meeting is over, and this is how we're moving, I'm gonna notify those applicants, this is being discussed at the workshop, so they have the opportunity to come.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they can come to the retreat, but it's a lot less likely that people come to retreats because they just sound boring. But, yeah.
I mean, retreat, that's our time to discuss what we want to discuss.
Yeah, but it's a public meeting. It's not a public hearing, but it's a public meeting. People
Nobody
can
gets to
come.
speak at the retreat, any, I mean, on chance that anybody comes.
Right.
Nobody usually comes, it's kind of boring stuff, it's here's how our fund works, you know, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But, if you do it at the workshop, and then they have the opportunity during audience business, if they need to add, or if you discuss something incorrect, they can address it during audience business, and then as an action item, you guys can make a decision.
so if you guys would please watch the video of the,
I will send an email to you all, with the start time of that discussion. You're free to watch the entire meeting, but I'll send an email to everybody tomorrow with the start time of that discussion on the YouTube.
okay.
And,
Thank you, Heather.
and maybe the link,
Also,
To it?
I'll include the link as well.
the link and the time. Yeah,
And
and that way those of us who were here, but maybe we want to refresh before that workshop. Okay, that'd be great.
And I will say that those who we gave money to last year did come and thanked us and
Yeah.
and told us what, how they spent our money, so that was, very nice that they
Yeah.
came. So, and then look back at your notes that Heather gave us on the 7 people who asked. Because there is there's the 3 committees together.
Mancos Valley Resource.
Mhm. So just look at the notes, okay? So that we all have the same information. Okay, the next then would be the 2023 second round agency contribution and adopt the updated 5-year capital plan and the proclamation for Philip and Linda Walters. Anybody have anything else?
Well, go ahead.
I just was listening, and I think there's been a lot of discussion about this bar, this Rio Cantina, and I don't know what we can or can't do, what we're legally, but I think it'd be good to maybe have
Can
more
you
of a.
wait and let's see what Justin has to say? Because I don't know that we
Well, I
can
wanna
do
hear what
anything.
Denise has to say.
Okay,
Well,
but I want
I
him to
just
hear what
think,
she has to say too.
I think there's been a lot of talk around town about this, like people like the place and they like the people, but I think it's becoming kind of rebel rousing and the music and the behavior and so on. So I don't know as a community or as a board, what we can do, like, can we ask them not to stay open so late, that kind of thing? Or
The problem is, none of that's happening.
That was my question.
It's not.
No,
There's not.
this
gonna
is a
be-
fight over parking.
That's, what now?
Yeah,
Time out.
Wait, one person at a time.
does it need to be on an agenda though?
No, we can,
Because I don't want to stop the discussion, however, they have left the room, and in order to be fully transparent.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to make it, the whole point is you do not,
I don't think we can make a decision, but I think we can discuss it.
Is tell staff.
Yeah.
We would like some more information on this topic, put it on a future workshop or agenda.
Yeah.
And then we will do that.
And that's what I was gonna suggest, is maybe adding that to our next meeting agenda.
Yeah, that's what
I will do that, because what I can say is, we are aware, we have done our due diligence, and we will bring that information back to
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Currently, they are not violating any state or local licensing or municipal laws. So we will bring the information back to you.
Okay.
Know that, they're aware and we're.
Yeah. And they're,
I just don't want any.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I would like just more information, like the date was brought up, like on 29th, there were 7 calls on March, like, can we get more data that supports or?
Yeah, because when and again, that's the kind of thing that we will research, because I was making notes, and I will say some of that stuff is a little bit inaccurate, so we're gonna respond to every one of their points.
Yeah.
At a future workshop, even if it's just an FYI in a board packet to you, and it doesn't make it to the level of action item.
Yeah.
But we'll at least put it in a board packet.
Okay.
That's published to the citizens, published on the website, and published to you.
And I think that's really good to be transparent. I appreciate that.
yeah.
I don't want to ever shut your guys' conversation down.
Right. And I would like it on an agenda, for our meeting, not a workshop, because the workshops don't get recorded and broadcast. And
So you want an action item, not just an FYI?
not necessarily an action item, but I think that, having Justin come up and like,
review.
yeah, just kind of review, like, these are the points that have been brought up in the public meetings. I'd like to respond to these from a law enforcement perspective and a liquor license perspective, you know, and just kind of let us know what the real deal is. And but not like an action item, because obviously we
Well-
can't cancel stuff out.
But if that's what the board wants, that's fine. But they have not brought any of these through the proper chain.
Right,
Oh,
oh,
they
yeah,
have
that, yeah.
So then maybe we shouldn't do it that way.
So maybe an FYI?
Sure.
It's up to the board. I'll do whatever the board wants,
And FYI
but
still goes in the board packet.
Yeah,
Well, what's your preference?
I don't care.
Well,
I just want to know what's really going on.
yeah, that's what I want
Yes,
to know.
yeah.
So we hear from them, and then you're saying, nah, that's not really what's happening.
Because none of us that stay up past 10 o'clock on the board.
And I think it's-
I would put an FYI in the board
Just a
packet,
briefing.
because they made one statement that says the marshal's office was told not to respond. So
That's-
I will put
Yeah.
FYI in the board packet, like I do with project updates.
Mhm.
Everything is going right behind the agenda, it's published on the website, people get notified of that.
Yeah,
And then there's no discussion or action taken at the meeting. You always
Okay.
get that as an FYI, and it's transparent to the public, and you would pass it to the next. So
okay,
we'll do that to address, specific to staff.
okay.
We will address those items and provide you with
Resolution
a
or.
high-level update on, the project.
Okay.
Could that be something that possibly we need to take it to the executive where it's just a discussion with us?
No, I can do it publicly. I
I
don't
mean,
care.
I don't know, I mean, we just,
Have an executive session.
okay, I'm just trying to, I mean, we just need to know what's going on, and we need to know what, you know.
Yeah, what's the facts? Like,
What's the
you know,
facts?
anybody can come up here and say they saw anything, so.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
they,
like,
you know, we don't know. I'm watching
It
TV
seems
that
like
type
this
of
can
night.
put in a record of what's really happening.
what's really happening and how the town views this and what's going on at the marshal's office with this.
I will absolutely do that.
Okay.
And I also want to ask you all to not, you were brought this information as a trustee. So if you're a customer or whatever of the cantina, this is not a topic for discussion out in the public. If
Right.
we ask questions or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please don't,
Interact.
just remember you're wearing your trustee hat.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll put an FYI in the board packet, and I'll just say FYI, and we'll address each one of their statements regarding staff, and then just give you a high level, we're aware, this is what's been done, they're in compliance.
Okay.
Can you back that to, because that comment about it just appeared out of the blue, just make sure that's backed up all the way to what the town has done along the way for that,
I
just so
absolutely will.
everything's.
Mhm.
Because they are accosting customers with their
I will,
complaints.
And see, and we don't, That's not our.
I know.
That's, yeah.
I know, but, yeah,
So,
they,
yeah, I will address their comments.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No?
I will address their comments.
Well,
But know that tonight, for your purposes, as the legislative body, they're fully compliant, with anything, business licenses, liquor licensing, and state liquor licensing.
and that's pretty much all, if they're in compliance with all that, then there's really
So
not
that's
a
all.
lot that
Oh,
we as a board can do if they're in compliance.
Well, and as far as the noise ordinance, as long as they're following the noise ordinance.
they're in compliance with the noise ordinance.
I mean, because that was the number one complaint.
That seemed like that was kind of a big
They're in
one.
compliance and have not violated, any of our local.
What's their closing time?
Midnight,
I would have to check, but I believe, I'd have to.
Midnight.
Is it midnight?
Yeah.
midnight.
There you go, and I
Yeah.
believe the state allows you to be open until 1 or 2. I'd have to
Yeah.
check the new liquor, state liquor laws.
Yeah,
allow you to
because
be
I
open
was
until
feeling
2.
like we had agreed to midnight.
But that's, well, and that's what I mean, and again, they're fully I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Other than they're compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all we have to go
I know
off.
state
And
those
as
too.
the governing body, that's all we really care about, is their.
Well, that's all we can manage.
Correct.
Yeah.
So no FYI, no more discussion?
Just the FYI in the packet so that it's,
I'll just say that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's memorialized that they're in compliance.
yeah,
I will do that.
yeah.
They're done.
And you could put a little paragraph in there about what the proper process would be if people have a complaint about a business.
I will do that.
I mean, you know.
I will reiterate that.
Yeah. Like, it isn't just to go from 0 to 100, it's like, you know, go to staff, you know.
Yeah,
call.
I'll make that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else?
So moved.
Okay.
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
make
guys.
a-
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, God.
Their neighbors aren't like them.